Diddy, imagine how many people are panicking right now that he did it. But one of the main things, Piers, that pissed me off the most is the Usher and the Justin Bieber situation.
Oh my God.
He was on Howard Stern. Usher was on, I believe it was Howard Stern a while ago, and he explained that he went to Puffy's flavor camp at 14 years old. His parents dropped him off with Diddy, and he saw stuff that he said he couldn't believe. 14 years old, Piers, okay? And God knows what he did with him. There's stories about
Justin
him.
Bieber
There's videos where he said,
Usher, after having seen that, he also sent Justin Bieber there.
Great point. And if the rumors are true, Piers, he brings up Justin Bieber, and Justin Bieber has looked like he has been through hell. He was seen with Diddy a couple months ago, and Diddy's patting him down for a while. These people, Piers, are disgusting. They're evil. Thank God Justin Bieber has found God. If he didn't find God, I don't think we'd have him. These people are predators.
Usher set the internet on fire. And this time it's about Justin Bieber, Diddy, and a truth that's been hidden for years. According to explosive claims from Jaguar Wright, Usher didn't just mentor Bieber. He allegedly handed him over to Diddy for 48 hours when the pop star was just 15. No managers. No parents. Just Diddy and a teenage Bieber. And now, with Diddy facing federal charges and Usher wiping his social media clean, people are finally asking, what really happened during those 2 days? Why are so many celebs silent? And is the truth finally catching up?
After being around that man, Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? We would fight. We would talk.
The 48-hour custody. Usher's role in Bieber's early career. Jaguar Wright has stirred the pot by alleging that Usher facilitated a 48-hour guardianship transfer of a young Justin Bieber to Diddy. According to Wright, Diddy had been trying to get close to Bieber, but his management was keeping him at bay. Usher, who had taken Bieber under his wing, allegedly handed him over to Diddy for 2 days. This claim is supported by a resurfaced video from 2009, where Diddy himself says he's having 48 hours with Diddy. I have been given custody of him. The video shows a 15-year-old Bieber and Diddy discussing their plans, which included getting some girls. The casual nature of this convo raises eyebrows, especially considering Bieber's age at the time. Usher's involvement is now under scrutiny. Was this a simple mentorship move? Or is there way more beneath the surface? This revelation about Usher is just the beginning. As we dig deeper, more unsettling details emerge about Diddy's infamous parties and the potential involvement of other celebs. The connections are deeper than we thought. So, what really happened in those 48 hours?
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
Filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Now imagine. Let's talk about the 48 hours that changed everything. This wasn't just a hangout. In that 2009 video, Diddy himself says on camera, "I've been given custody of Justin for the next 48 hours. He even compares it to the movie 48 Hours, like it was supposed to be some wild ride. But the details in that clip? Straight up disturbing. No adults. No security. No management. Just a 15-year-old Justin Bieber. And a grown man known for throwing some of the wildest parties in the industry. At one point, Diddy turns to Justin and says, "Let's go get some girls," on camera laughing. It wasn't a joke. It was grooming behavior, dressed up as mentorship. We now know Diddy's private life included something way darker. Federal documents exposed freak-offs, invite-only parties where sexual acts were allegedly filmed. And while there's no confirmed link between Bieber and those parties, people are asking, why would Usher let a 15-year-old spend time alone in that environment? Even if nothing happened, the optics alone are terrifying. Diddy's words in that video have aged horribly. Jaguar Wright called it what it was. Usher promising to protect Bieber, and then handing him over. Whether Usher thought it was safe, or owed Diddy a favor, we don't know. But it left Justin dangerously exposed.
It's nothing like fellowshipping, you know? So we see each other around, but we don't get it. Usher, how you been, man? I've been seeing you so long.
How much did we drink?
You trying to say something, Usher?
I'm trying to say something.
What do you want to say?
I don't know if I should, but I'm trying.
Well, we drunk a little bit. You drunk a lot.
You drank one Kuiper.
Let me say fired up.
Yeah.
Chill, bro. Fired up.
Like
Your forehead is sweating. Uncle Leroy.
it's hot as hell.
It ain't that hot.
Now imagine this. Usher didn't just hand Bieber over for 2 days. He knew exactly who Diddy was. And the truth? He might have seen it firsthand. Because years earlier, when Usher was just 13, he moved in with Diddy himself. Back in 1994, Usher was only 13 when he left Atlanta and moved into Diddy's home in New York. It was branded as a mentorship, Puffy's flavor camp. But that label feels more like a cover-up now. And Usher? He's never told the full story. But the bits he has shared? Disturbing. In a 2004 interview with Howard Stern, Usher admitted, "I saw some things. I don't know if I could even understand what I was looking at." When Stern pushed him, asking if women approached him, Usher paused and said, "I didn't say that." It was one of those moments where he didn't need to say it. His face said it all. He saw things a 13-year-old shouldn't have seen.
It's nothing like fellowshipping, you know? So we see each other around, but we don't get it. Usher, how you been, man? I've been seeing you so long.
How much did we drink?
You trying to say something, Usher?
I'm trying to say something.
What do you want to say?
I don't know if I should, but I'm trying.
Well, we drunk a little bit. You drunk a lot.
You drank one Kuiper.
Let me say fired up.
Yeah.
Chill, bro. Fired up.
Like
Your forehead is sweating. Uncle Leroy.
it's hot as hell.
It ain't that hot.
Even Jaguar Wright claims Usher was hospitalized after an incident while staying with Diddy. Though Usher's never confirmed that publicly. But former bodyguards and industry insiders? They've whispered about what really went down inside that house for years. And if Usher went through something traumatic, that might explain the strange loyalty he's shown Diddy over the years. Even when it didn't make sense. And here's the chilling part. If Usher was groomed as a teen, and then grew up to become a gatekeeper in the industry, did he unknowingly pass on the same trauma? Did he repeat the cycle, with Justin? This isn't just about pointing fingers. It's about how cycles of abuse work. Victims can become enablers if they never process their pain. And that's what makes this entire situation even more heartbreaking.
All right, Usher, Justin Bieber, Diddy. This is how they all connect. When Usher was super young, he got signed to a guy named L.A. Reid, this famous music executive. Usher then loses his voice. L.A. Reid wants to help him, get back on track, so he sends him over to this guy named Puff Daddy. And as you can imagine, Usher had a problem. He just didn't know it yet. See, Puff Daddy was this up-and-coming music executive who could really turn someone into a star. He put them through this thing called Flavor Camp. And during Usher's term in this Flavor Camp, he lived with Puff. And in Usher's words, he would see questionable things. He said at any given time, you can open the door and see a bunch of random people playing Netflix. He said he would be up all night partying when all he really wanted to do was go to the studio. And this is when people speculate that Diddy did something to Usher. Now, I need you to listen to me. I'm gonna give you the evidence as to why people believe this, but until you hear words from Usher, Diddy, Justin Bieber, nobody knows anything. All right, so Diddy and Usher are in an interview with Kevin Hart. Diddy said, "Hey, yo, pause. When Usher used to live with me, we used to wrestle for frosted."
So now we've got a disturbing chain. Usher at 13, possibly groomed by Diddy. Then years later, handing Bieber over for 48 unsupervised hours. But the deeper we dig, the more names pop up. And that brings us to the big question. Where were all the other celebrities while this was happening? Why didn't anyone say a word? The celebs who stayed silent, enablers, or just scared. One of the most frustrating parts of this story is the silence. Diddy's been surrounded by celebs for decades. LeBron James once said, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." Jay-Z had meetings with him. Countless rappers, actors, influencers, all attended his events. So where were they when this behavior was happening behind the scenes? It's not like the rumors were hidden. Stories about Diddy's freak-offs have been circulating for years. And it's not just gossip. Federal prosecutors describe these parties as coerced, filmed sex rituals. That's serious. So why didn't anyone with power speak?
The time you met Justin Bieber, this kid comes up to you. He's not Justin Bieber yet. He's just some kid. And he says, "I want to sing for you."
It was at
the studio of Jermaine Dupri's. I said, you know, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager? I'd love to meet with you and do this in a formal setting. I'm late for an appointment with Jermaine Dupri,
right?
And I don't want to keep him waiting. Let's just do this the right way.
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, there were a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
You were all sitting in a room somewhere.
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
When all these dick pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts. Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of manager he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and saying, yeah, show your cock, or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's...
Some say fear kept people quiet. Diddy wasn't just a party guy, he was a mogul. Music, fashion, liquor, television, he had power everywhere. Speaking out could have ended careers. But others, they were right there. They saw things. And the longer they stay silent, the more it looks like guilt. Silence can be loyalty, but it can also be complicity. Even Usher hasn't said a word since the Diddy allegations broke. No statement. No interview. He wiped his socials and claimed he was hacked. The timing was way too perfect. It's clear a lot of these celebs are scrubbing their digital footprints before the questions come. But the public isn't stupid. We see what's going on. And people are angry. Now let's bring it back to the one person who's still not talking. Justin Bieber. No denial. No support. No comment. But if you look at his body language, his behavior, and how his career shifted, you start to wonder if he's carrying a truth too heavy to speak. Justin's been through rehab, breakdowns, and long disappearances. At one point he even admitted, I was doing things I was ashamed of, just to numb the pain.
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not gonna speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing something, they may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
What did you hear?
Bro, you know how people be talking and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when somebody say, yo, man, I don't F with them niggas. Man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened. And that's just, that's something that you heard. You don't know if it's true, you just heard it. So, and just to hear this, and this new thing where they saying that they got kids coming forward and said that he did that, man, that shit is crazy. And like I just said, that's just something that I heard. It's something that I didn't know. It's something that I ain't see. A lot of people want to, because Gene Deal has spoken on certain things that I've heard, I have spoken on it. But then they were just trying to say, I know. No, I'm not scared to say what I heard. And if there's any truth to it, then it's truth to it. Let them find it. Things that I've saw or things that I've witnessed and been a part of, I've said it. Well, first I want to say to this young man, before somebody take his head off, because see, that's that new school bull crap that these kids out here, they easy to fly off their mouth with that. You don't invite a man to your private. You don't invite a man to your private unless you doing the Diddy. If two men lay down, how many homos get up? Let me tell you, young man, 2 of them. You understand? So don't invite a man to your private, because that man will see you and take your head off. Especially somebody like 50. You don't send or let a boy do a man's job. I don't know if he need that type of attention or he want that type of attention. Evidently he do. But 50 is the wrong dude that you want to do that type of attention, get that kind of attention from, bro. In the infamous words of Waka Flocka, that nigga go hard in the paint. And I don't believe that this cat would even put out some trash like that and really didn't know what he was doing. He's teasing the federal government. And I told y'all, the Southern District of New York do not play.
Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Jan Deal, has issued a blunt warning to Christian Combs, claiming he's put himself in danger. According to Deal, Christian was the one who allegedly leaked the Cassie footage online, a move that may have triggered Diddy's latest wave of legal fallout.
See, after he did that shit, something get leaked to the press. Do you notice that, right? As soon as he did that dumb shit, talking about, well, we did this and we did that. We had this over here, y'all went to the wrong house. Some went to, he said, well, we're gonna show you how wrong we are. Yo, CNN, run this. Action, roll them. Don't play with the feds, bro. Cause you gotta realize this. They got a lot of time. All they got is time.
Looks like Diddy's own son might be the one who lit the fuse, allegedly setting off a chain of events that could land his father behind bars for life.
In law enforcement for 27 years, and I had the opportunity to see HIDA. It's a place, whereas they have the state, the feds, the NYPD, the Department of Corrections, and the state police. Yo, this place could be half of a basketball court. That's where they just got lines of computers with officers of all different people and officers just on the internet. Whoever's over that case, whoever's working that case, don't you know they saw that and took it to their...
See what's going on. Lady out in the building.
I'm